When the breaking news came in, I was busy working on an academic task and I had to finish before I could handle this. And I've just said before I sleep, I have to do something on Malala story reloading. Yeah, so I've just checked on the podcast Iko Nini, and of course what I've seen there is clearly a mockery of Cleophas Malala. Ameambiwa alale jela, watu wakilala kwa nyumba. Why this? It's actually mchimba kisima huingia mwenyewe, na anayecheka kilema ajue hujafa hujaumbika, right? Yeah, so I was just digging deep into why it was being a mockery on him after the arrest. I hope everybody has got the breaking news of his arrest, and if you've not watched the video, I'll be showing it very soon. So of course, Cleophas Malala is one person who wrote Shackles of Doom for Butere Girls once, and that play was really controversial, a political game. But compared to the now Echoes of War is directly mentioning the current names that we actually know. I'm a writer. Maybe my play has not gone out as much as Cleophas, but I believe if one day they reach the platform, of course they'll be somewhere. In fact, if you check on Poems Hunter and in some bookshops, you'll find my books. So I know I'm going to get an attack on this, but welcome. Yeah, now, when you're writing, there is something known as fiction. Now, fiction allows you to just change a story a bit. You may be talking about what is happening, but not by directly referring to it. Now, my question is, why did Cleophas Malala have to use names as Zakayo and then mention people who are in government, like the three who were mentioned by the students? You actually know the people who are mentioned. Babu Owino, Millie Jambo, that is Bad Girl, and there was still another. Yeah? So, I think the reason why they were trying to cancel, away from people saying that Rachel is an alumni of Butere, I think they were looking at the overt mentioning of these words that are very current, because Zakayo has been using very recently. Yeah, so let's just briefly look at the video showing his arrest, then we can go on with the discussion.
To arrest me with food? No, Marugu, you told me you want to arrest me to take me to the police. That's what you told me. Me, I have a court order here. I'm serving you. The High Court has allowed me to direct the play. They are performing tomorrow morning.
Good evening here in Nakuru County, because the police have tried to arrest former senator for Kakamega County, Cleophas Malala. But at the moment where we are camping, Mr. Malala is inside this vehicle here, but he has locked himself up after the police tried to arrest him. But at the moment we have police officers trying to harass us. My camera person, Peter Kimani, has been assaulted.
Cleophas Malala currently is called a former because he was plucked out of UDA, and since he ran for the seat using the UDA post, then he cannot continue serving as a senator of Kakamega. You can see in that video, he's defending himself before Marugu, indicating that he's supposed to direct the play because it was supposed to be done tomorrow. Of course, in normal life as a director, you are supposed to follow your team, whatever they are performing, and rehearse with them. That's what we do in music festivals, drama festivals, to ensure that your play will continue having life. Now, I'm just wondering about his team and how they received the news about his arrest. Yeah, so, just combining several videos varying from the time he was arguing, serving the order to Marugu, and then later on the attempts to arrest him, locking himself in the car, and later on, of course, as you can see the video ahead, there's a lot of fracas that journalists, the Citizen one, of course, some of them have been assaulted. No live was supposed to be allowed. These things are supposed to happen secretly. So, of course, who is behind this? Who is behind this? That is our question. So, comment if you have an idea about who exactly is behind this. And somebody was like, the government is chickening and they'll only use intimidation to do what they want. And of course, with the Kenya, there is Dr. Wu. He indicated that in Kenya, anchor alone is not enough. However much people will talk about Zakayo to go, anchor is not enough. So what is enough? So I ask myself and also ask you.
Megan, narrate.
A very good evening, Jeff. Well, indeed, what is happening right now is that police officers here in Kirobon, Rongai Sub-County, Nakuru, are actually throwing tear gas canisters towards us as journalists. Well, what transpired is that Cleopas Malala, who's the former Kakamega senator, as well as former SG UDA, is the scriptwriter for a certain play, Echoes of War, that was controversially dropped, actually.
Marianne, it looks like Marianne is right in the middle of that tear gas incident. And Marianne, if you can hear me, please stay safe. Please stay safe and get away from that mess. We need you to be safe out there. We don't want any heroes. See the live scenes right there at Kirobon in Nakuru County. Police still lobbing tear gas at journalists, no less, preventing them from reporting this very important story.
3 journalists assaulted. Seriously. 3 journalists assaulted.
Stay safe, Marianne. If you can hear me, stay safe. Get out of there if you can.
Video. I don't know what you think. Remember, the Nationals are proceeding in Nakuru. And of course, there was fire before he was arrested. You could see him asking whether he's being arrested for writing a book, a play that is not a book. And I was looking at the comment section of some of the areas like Ikonini Podcast and NTV, and people are like, hey, very soon, mkutano wa watu wawili will no longer be. I don't know how true is this, but of course we are seeing dictatorial aspects in the current government. Now we just go back to a statement that Ruto once said, that he will never use the police or intimidation or state resources to intimidate. Unfortunately, when he walked in, he realized that he should use them. It is what it is, right? And if you don't know about it, forget about it. Now, remember the situations as they are in Kenya now. Abductions were going on. Killings of Gen Z after the hot situation where they go to parliament. In fact, somebody says none of those girls or boys who went to the parliament exist. I don't know how true this is, but it seems those are the facts people share. Somebody was like, Namorara mbona hawajamfuata? Looking at the inbox, another one is like, when people take soup and wine over other people's problems, they dance thinking they'll not face it, right? Now, when you look at that, of course, the reason why people are celebrating Cleophas Malala wrote the play Shackles of Doom. And of course, if you are an artist and your mind tells you that some things are not right, there is no way we could expect that he could connect with Ruto and be part of the government. But he went on and he became the UDA secretary, right? Now, after a difference that we do not clearly know, and of course, when you look at Gachagwa's information and stories, then you would think maybe there's something about corruption, the sharing of the cake, right? So when you realize that the differences are hot, then you begin seeing what actually can happen. How can you justify injustice and become part of a party that is rot, all rot? Then later on you come and attack. Now I'm just asking myself, when he wrote this, even though he's used to writing plays as people are saying, but when he wrote this, why did he directly attack Ruto? That's my question. Yeah, so as you come to the inbox, please remember, I know that he has ever written, but why did he go direct and talk about Zakayo? And of course, all of us know who Zakayo is, right? So is this a way of attacking the president directly? Now, I'm not defending any of them because, of course, they belong to the same group. But I'm just looking at the scenario in Kenya, and of course, you remember Muturi, and there is a saga that has just risen against him on corruption. You also look at Waititu, now he was put in and is behind the bars. Now he cannot defend himself again over theft. The other person who has experienced the same, I think, is Kuria, right? I heard somebody calling him Kulia now because of the emojis he sent. Was it on Sunday? After Gachagua was attacked at Kasarani, he sent emojis to show how sad he is. And it's because his property was frozen, right? Some properties at Kasarani and elsewhere, after he failed to pay a loan of about 54 million, right? Now look at Nyoro Ndindi and the other people. So in Kenya, it's like we use the ostrich politics, hiding our necks or our heads. When things are wrong, the politicians cannot come out clearly and denounce them as long as they are benefiting. But when things go sour, because they are not gaining from the promises, possibly like Malala, there must have been promises before he was plucked out of the seat that he was occupying. And after that, he ran back to school to write a play, right? Yeah, I just want us to have a short taste of that play. Short taste. Yeah, so let's watch this.
Who must go? Zakayo must go. He must go. My voice, your voice, our voice, Gen Z's voice. A generation that is tired of being manipulated by leaders who are busy making empty promises. Promises that even a 5-year-old is able to tell is a scam. Fertilizers for the farmers, free education, a government of the people, for the people, by the people. What people? And we have no voices in our government. A generation that is vexed, infuriated, tired of everything going.
I don't know how you feel about that play, but in my view, I found it just quite overt about some names and all that. And of course, names, even though in court they let the play continue, that is, you know, when we already call it a script or a play, it's not reality. And of course, I think on that basis, it goes on living because we are just dramatizing, actually. That's what they'll tell you. We are not actualizing. And this politics about that started long ago. You can agree with me if you've read about the Greeks, Aristotle, yeah, and all that. You actually know the politics against art and what it means. Yeah. Like when you read the Greek plays, there was something about what they are writing and the reality, whether they are reflecting the society or they are teaching the society what will happen. And I think during the Moi time, books like Government Inspector were done, but with a lot of sensitization. Francis Imbuga was that hot spot for writing Betraying the City. And we have people like Ngugi wa Thiong'o had to run away from Kenya at some point for writing political stories, you know, and seek refuge or rather asylum there. But currently, if I look at the books we are teaching, like if you look at The Samaritan by John Lara, wherever it is, I've never known wherever it is, by the way. John Lara, if you research around, you don't find anyone like that. Parliament of Oz by Adipo Sidang, who is in KICD. Then you don't understand why somebody would go attacking echoes of war. Because books are there and they are being taught in schools. Now, a play that is being actualized by students on stage would actually be, you know, lower in that. Was it just an incident of Rachel in the house watching this in State House? Or what was it actually? So as we wait upon what will happen to Malala, one thing we are just teaching politicians is that stand with the truth. Now, currently, I think you are seeing Gachagua is becoming a force to reckon, not because people like him, but it's because he's standing against what many people don't like. Of course, many people know the lies, and I think for those who've heard the current song, I'll be doing a video on it again. It's like everybody, at some point, apart from those who directly benefit from the government, they are tired, sick and tired of what is happening. So I think Malala is trying to pull a given following through that play, and that's why in court, it was pushed in court and then it was allowed and all that. So what do we wait for? What are we going to expect on the case of Cleophas Malala's the right of this play? What about on the course of events about writing and all that? Yeah. So thank you for watching and stay tuned. Bye-bye.